Now that Violet has survived the parapet and started proving herself in the Rider's Quadrant, the real challenges begin. Violet is now bonded to Tern, the largest and most dangerous black dragon, and Andarna, a rare golden baby dragon. This is unheard of. Riders typically bond with only one dragon. The entire Rider's Quadrant watches her closely, some in awe, others in disbelief. Even worse, Tern and Andarna refuse to speak to her at first, making her question whether she's truly their rider. Meanwhile, her struggles in physical training continue, and her enemies haven't forgotten that they want her dead. Jack Barlow and his group make it clear that they believe she's unworthy and intend to eliminate her soon. Now that Violet is bonded to dragons, she begins experiencing the bonding effect, a connection so powerful that if a rider's dragon dies, the rider dies too. She can feel Tern's emotions inside her, but he remains distant and gruff. Then it's time for her first flight. Mounting a dragon is a test of balance, fear, and willpower. But when she finally climbs onto Tern's back, something clicks. For the first time, she feels powerful. Xaden, watching from a distance, warns her that she's in over her head. His dragon Scale, a massive blue dragon, shares a connection with Tern, meaning Violet and Xaden are now linked in a way neither of them wants. Violet's interactions with Xaden become even more complicated. He seems to both push her away and pull her closer. His commands are sharp and cutting, yet he steps in whenever she's in danger. The tension between them is undeniable, but Xaden makes it clear that he doesn't trust her or her mother. His father was a traitor killed by Violet's mother, General Lilith Sorrengail, and he still carries the weight of that betrayal. Meanwhile, Dane continues trying to convince Violet to leave Basgiath, believing she won't survive, but Violet refuses to walk away. Violet begins training with Rhiannon more seriously, using speed and agility instead of brute strength. She studies past battles, hoping to use strategy to make up for her physical weakness. Andarna finally speaks to Violet, revealing that she's younger than other dragons and hasn't yet developed her full powers. Despite this, she tells Violet she chose her for a reason. Meanwhile, Violet overhears some riders talking about a growing rebel threat, hinting that something bigger is happening outside the walls of Basgiath. Violet starts noticing that some riders don't seem loyal to Navarre. Conversations about rebels and hidden truths circulate. Xaden and his friends seem to have their own agenda, and she can't shake the feeling that she's missing a crucial piece of information. Jack and his crew are growing bolder, trying to sabotage her during training, but Violet is finally learning to fight smart, outmaneuvering them instead of facing them head-on. Every rider must prove they can handle their dragon. The Mid-Year Gauntlet is a brutal obstacle course designed to eliminate the weak. Violet faces a dangerous climb, swinging ropes and deadly spikes meant to test endurance. She almost fails, but Andarna unexpectedly slows time for a brief second, allowing her to correct her footing. No one else seems to notice, but Violet realizes Andarna has a rare ability. She barely makes it through the gauntlet, but Jack doesn't take his eyes off her. Jack officially challenges Violet to a fight. In the Rider's Quadrant, challenges are real, and they can be fatal. If she refuses, she'll be marked as weak, making her an even bigger target. Xaden warns her not to accept. Dane begs her to let someone else handle it, but Violet knows she can't back down. Using everything she's learned, she manages to outmaneuver Jack and stab him in the ribs. The fight is over. Jack doesn't die, but the message is clear. Violet is no longer an easy target. After the fight, something inside Violet changes. She starts feeling static in her veins. Strange sparks flicker from her fingers when she touches metal. Tern finally speaks to her directly, telling her that whatever is happening inside her is her signet power, but it's not fully awakened yet. He refuses to reveal more, leaving Violet frustrated. Violet follows Xaden one night and overhears a secret conversation. He's talking to a group of other cadets about something bigger than Basgiath. There are hidden alliances at play, and Xaden is more involved than he lets on. She begins to suspect that he might be working with the rebels. But if that's true, why hasn't he killed her yet? During a training session, Violet's power finally awakens. When she's pushed to the edge of exhaustion, her signet power bursts out of her. She can control lightning. Bolts of electricity crackle in the air around her, shocking everyone, including Xaden. This is an incredibly rare and dangerous ability, and it means Violet is far more powerful than anyone expected. But with great power comes danger, and now she's an even bigger target. What's next? Violet is no longer the weak cadet struggling to survive. She has a deadly signet power, a connection to 2 dragons, and a dangerous attraction to a man who might be hiding the truth from her. But with the deadly war games approaching, the real question isn't whether she's strong enough. It's whether she'll survive long enough to use her power.